Right, here we go. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Michael here for Tactica, Imperialis, and welcome to the stream. Sorry, I forgot about the whole feedback thing. Hang on. Need to do that, or I'm going to be getting even more feedback. Right, come on. Forgot, I'm trying a home setup rather than a uni setup, so I just need to... Hang on, I'm just going to stick you in here and then you'll stay still. Right, now you'll stay still. Okay, can I get a sound check in the chat, please? Can I get a sound check in the chat? Sorry about that, that was just faff. Yes, I know it's unexpected. This was me testing my return to streaming, is basically what I'm doing. So, like, I haven't streamed in, like, over a month, and I haven't streamed since I come back to uni, so I'm basically making sure that, well, I can still stream. Which is good. Is it dubbed? That's weird. Okay. So yes, I know I'm not expecting much of a turnout, I'm not expecting much at all, but good to see you. I've tweeted it out. If someone feels like putting it in Alexis's Discord, if anyone's here from Alexis's Discord, you're probably not from Alexis's Discord. Let me put it in Alexis's Discord. Please don't kill my computer. Put it in the YouTube one, not the general. Oh god, I'm worried this is going to kill my computer to do this. In here, in YouTube. Okay, and then close that immediately. Yeah, so there you go. It's in the Discord now, so maybe we'll get some people. So yeah. Hello, sorry, I've been going for like 3 minutes. I haven't said anything yet, so yeah, I haven't really planned this. That should be probably pretty clear. I haven't planned this. I was mainly just testing it for tech. So I'm ready to open the floor to the chat. Hopefully one day I'll configure it where I can get the chat on the screen, which would be lovely, but I do keep up with it. Could I speak a bit louder? I can try. I know it's a little bit quiet. It's not getting feedback, which is something. If I maybe... Could I do that? Okay, so I've moved my mic a little bit closer. Is there a little feedback? Is there? Oh. There is a little. Right. Basically, I need to hold my mic in place. I've plugged it the other way into my phone. Probably not the smartest thing I've ever done, but hey, what can one do? Why is there a dragon on my desk? I've always had this dragon. It's broken, and I've had this high elf dragon for years. You've seen it in battle reports if you watch how I just Sigmar stuff. I've used it in battle reports before. But in the last podcast episode, what did you say when you say in response? Oh, I was making a joke. It was a characterful joke, because your character tries to wind up my character, so never mind. It was all in good humour. At least I intended it to be in good humour. Sounds like I've sound on my stream. Right. Oh! Right. Oh, that's muted. That's muted, so it's not that. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I can listen back to it. Ooh, God, I need to get that. How's Magnus? Magnus is done. If you follow me on Twitter and Facebook, you'll know that Magnus is done. Well, his gaming base is done. The YouTube people won't know that yet, but here he is. Yay, Magnus finished. Yeah, so that's him. You'll see a showcase video for him, I think, on Monday. Is it going to be out on Monday? Yeah, I think it's coming out on Monday. So you'll be able to see him on Monday. Which is grand, so you can look forward to that and get a full look at that. So yes, Magnus is finished. I'm just gonna put him around the corner of my desk, so he's actually in the shot for the entire stream. Will they ever do a podcast episode as Giraffes that we don't already? Like, I mean, our characters are slightly different to us. I mean, but I generally write my character the way I write myself: sarcastic and knowledgeable. And yeah, I do know what happiness is. I can be happy. It doesn't happen very often on the podcast because I'm usually having to debate something. But yeah, oh, slidey mic is slidey. Yeah, I'm coming up on 21, so what I might do is I might actually, if I get some money, I might actually upgrade my mic. But with going to France and everything, it's gonna be a bit of a problem to get it out there. I've got things I need to work on regarding tech, and I'm aware of that. Which is fine. Waiting for the triumvirate of the Primarch tonight. Yeah, I can imagine. Although, to be fair, I kind of feel sorry for the other two in the triumvirate of the Primarch because, like, a very few people I suspect are using Cypher and Voldus. Everyone just wants it for Guilliman. Whereas at least with the Triumvirate of Inade, they're all usable, and with the Triumvirate of the Imperium, Call and Celestine are both usable, I'm sure. It's a bit of a sucker for Cypher and Voldus. I'll get my words out in a bloody minute. Yeah. Sorry about the awkward timing, by the way. I know it's like 2 o'clock UK, so it's like really, really early for the Americans, and it's probably a little too... It's probably just okay for the Australians. But yeah, it's not a great time for the Americans, and I apologise for that. And the Brits, I know anyone who's working during the day, it's just I'm at home now, so like streaming at like 8 o'clock is just a no go. Picked up a few Tau Piranhas, had them all built, and now I need to get more paint. Yeah, I quite enjoy the Piranha kit. The main problem I have with mine is that the flying base snapped. The little bit on the end of the flying base snapped inside the model, so I can't use that flying base anymore, and I can't put a new flying base on my Piranha without like drilling it out, and that's a nightmare. Something I'm just not got very good at. So my Piranha is stuck permanently grounded as a result, and it's another reason why I hate flying bases and probably shouldn't play Dark Eldar. Maybe one day, we'll see. If the Codex gives us Lady Malice. Yeah, that issue one as well. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I have to be super careful with my Devilfish. Like, there's a reason my Devilfish are deployed with their feet down, because you can deploy them feet up and on the flying base, and you can still put them on the flying base with the feet down. But with the feet down, it's just better. You don't have to worry about flying base faff. It's just much better. Honestly, I think I'm quite alright with the ball joint flying bases. I like the ball joint flying base like I've got on my Cold Star. That's actually pretty good because, well, it's not like a break. Nothing else. You are going to drill a new base. It's only because, yeah, you need the right equipment for it. I don't think Kieran does either, but he's away at the moment anyway, so, yeah. So, yeah, things are okay. There's not too much to report on the hobby front besides this guy. But I'm just going to move the dragon, actually. Move the dragon over, and then Magnus gets a little bit more attention. I know he's miles away from the camera, but I'm not going to put him on the camera, because then that defeats the point of Monday's video. Which is all well and good. Fine and dandy. So, yes, all of that, and I'm sure everyone's got 8th edition stories to tell. I've got, to be fair, I don't really have that many 8th edition stories to tell, because every story I would tell, I pretty much put into battle report form. Like, almost every game I've played, I battle reported. So, with a few exceptions, but there's not too much to report. Life has been, oh boy, life has been hectic. Life has been hectic. Got my results for second year, got a first, just. So everything's confirmed. I'm going to France. We booked the flights. We've had a look at events and times and things like that, and accommodation, and insurance and stuff like that. So it's been hectic, and I've been basically trying to get the channel as ready as possible because tick, 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 10,000 subscribers is coming up. So, a lot going on that front. Remember my first Valkyrie, I screwed up and glued the flying base point where the last leg needed to be. Oh, unlucky. Unlucky. I quite like the cross flying base as well that I've got on my Razor Shark. I've actually come to quite appreciate that as well. The proper flyer bases are good. Flying bases, annoying. Flyer bases are actually quite alright, I think. I had to bunker down for the trip. Yeah, kinda. I mean, I'm ready to go. I've got videos made now up until the end of August. Okay, Rancho's in pre-order. Yes, I saw that. Yes, he is. I'll address that in a minute. But yeah, I'm leaving on the 3rd. I'll do a proper update video in a couple of weeks explaining the whole situation for everybody who can't catch this or doesn't want to watch a full live stream VOD. But I'm leaving on the 3rd, and I've got videos made almost to the 2nd. I'm working on the video that's coming out on the 2nd, which I'm hoping, if all goes well, will be the 10,000 subscriber special. So I'm working on that now. And I'm just going to build and build and build, and I want to be... I currently stand about 4 weeks ahead, and I want to stay that way. I want to stay 4, 5, 6 weeks ahead on lore videos, And then everything else, I've got 2 battle reports that I'm holding back, and I've got a third that I need to make as part of a little mini narrative campaign. Kieran says when he's going to come back, he's going to try and get some AOS lore, so we can try and fill some gaps in there. I've told everyone in my friendship group, if you've got a camera, feel free to make battle reports. We're still doing the podcast, so hopefully it'll be minimal disruption on your end. Am I going to play in Fate of Konor? No, because I'm not at a GW to play. Where are the physics? The physics friends are at home, and so am I. Uni's over for the year. You'll probably realise there's a very different backdrop to my usual streaming setup because I'm at home now. There's a dartboard. You wouldn't get a dartboard in uni halls. Oh god, no. That would be a recipe for disaster. So, yeah, the physics friends are all at their houses, and I'm at my house. Because I enjoy the random topics discussed in these streams, I'm going to throw one out. Are you a fan of dragons? I play elves. Yes, dragons are cool. Maybe not... I'm not as huge about fantasy as I am about sci-fi, but dragons are cool. Did I see the Chibi Promise? Yes. Why was the Magnus blue? That was human Magnus. Why was his armour bloody blue? The Thousand Suns didn't go blue until like M40 odd. So I pronounced Konor correctly. Is that... I don't know what the official pronunciation, if it's Connor, Konor. I don't know. That's just how I would pronounce it, because I know people called Connor, and that has 2 N's. Or with a C. But with a K, I call it Konor. I don't know why. It's just my personal preference. But I have weird pronunciations. Everyone calls me out on my pronunciations all the time, so I wouldn't take everything. Like I've recently corrected Legiones to Legiones in my most recent lore video. You're not going to see it for a while, but I have corrected it from the Legiones Astartes to the Legiones Astartes to try and fit a bit more with the Latin pronunciation, because I'm that much of a nerd. You asked the same thing, sent the email. Yeah, fair enough. No one knows what the actual pronunciation is. Yeah. Things are hard to pronounce, and the audio dramas give you one answer, then sometimes GW give you another answer, and sometimes there's someone else at GW give another answer. I'm just like, oh, would you please just be consistent with your pronunciations, please? They found a skeleton for a wyvern looking down saying Yiki. It's chi. Yeah, sorry, French has a key sound. That was exactly what medieval wyverns could have evolved. Oh, interesting. I may look into that sometime if I'm not snowed under with everything else. I may look into that. Kind of want to play music, but don't want a copyright claim on the stream. They've got 17 people in the chat for an impromptu stream at an awkward time. I'll take that. I'll take that absolutely all day. What's my opinion on the Emperor's Children? I don't particularly like the Emperor's Children. Sorry, not a huge fan of the Emperor's Children. Fulgrim is my least favourite Primarch of all. I don't particularly like Lucius. I don't particularly like Fabius Bile. I don't particularly like Eidolon. And when I did their lore video, I wasn't particularly impressed. Pre-Heresy, not so bad. I think up until Fulgrim's fall, I think they're alright. They're not my favourite in any stretch, but they were alright. But it then all went downhill. So we could have got the KT event. KT? Is that... Oh, I don't know what that means. Sorry. Sorry, I should know that, but I'm not a historian or an archaeologist or whatever. Have I seen the Chaos Code? It's not the 5th of August. I hadn't seen a date. I knew it was coming. So Grey Knights are next, and then Chaos are after that. So, no, that can't be right. Grey Knights are next. Grey Knights are next, not Chaos. So maybe Chaos goes for pre-order on the 5th, but Grey Knights is next, I'm pretty sure. Which arm is in most in need of new lore? All the Xenos bar the Eldar? Pretty much. I mean, we need more Tau lore. I'd love more Orc lore to try and understand how they work. More Tyranid lore would be great to understand how the Hive Fleet and Hive Mind functions. I'd love to see more about like the Necrons as well. Maybe a bit more fleshed out on the modern era as well as the whole thing in the past and stuff. So basically all the Xenos, and then from there, the Talons of the Emperor, like the Sister of Silence, the Custodes would be great, that sort of thing. A good layout for Deathwatch to beat Tau. I don't play Deathwatch, don't ask, don't know. Pre-Heresy, all the Traitor Legions were alright. Well, The Iron Warriors were not spectacular in any configuration. They weren't amazing. I just maybe didn't like their personality so much. And I didn't find the word bearer is that interesting, but oh, it's the dinosaur extinction event. Sorry, I didn't know that was its official name. Sorry. The tower get a new codex set? No, probably won't for ages. Guy from the Facebook group was reordering the Space Marine Codex digital copy and took a picture. Send it. Are you going to tweet it at me? Okay. Merci. Merci beaucoup. Do you think customs will have an issue with you bringing a Xenos through to Invit? I'm not taking any of my 40k with me for first semester. So that won't be an issue. And technically, Xenos means alien and also by extension foreigner. So if customs didn't let me through on that grounds, then that's... yeah. Anyway. Oh, yeah, take the piss out of my French. I'm going to be living in France for a year. Get used to it. I'm going to get more and more French, probably. Or at least I'm going to try and keep my accent as consistent as possible, but I'm going to probably end up just muttering to myself in French. That's going to happen, and I apologise in advance, because some people don't like the French. Mais, c'est ça. C'est la vie. I should fix that dart, actually. Have we got another flight for it? No, we don't. What if the rubric worked as it intended? We don't know. I was thinking about that when I did my Thousand Suns lore video, which is finished, by the way. I finished that. I'm not sure. It might have actually worked perfectly. We don't know. We'd love to learn French. You can go and learn French. There's loads of apps, or you can go and get a tutor. There's loads of ways to learn. You can do it for free quite easily. So if you want to learn a language, go for it. I thoroughly encourage it, and with the way the world's going, having more languages under your belt is probably a good thing for getting into the world of work and all of that stuff. Why? Uni. I'm doing a study year abroad. That's why I'm going. Can I show us Magnus? I already did. If you want to see it in full, there's a video coming out on Monday. But, there you go. That's my little Magni magic. Also, I do not approve of the naming convention you have used there. I do not approve. Genes... No. That's genetic corruption by another... No. We're not having that. Why does GW have the Guard using World War I and II tactics instead of modern tactics? To represent the fact that the Imperium hasn't really gone anywhere. It's sort of to represent the fact that the Imperium's quite backwards technologically and stuff like... it's not technologically backwards, it's very technologically advanced by our standards, but it's maybe not like super intelligent, hyper-skilled warfare that we might expect the future to look like. It's always trying to give us a sense of realism, maybe, or something like that. Thank you. And tweet to the picture. Merci beaucoup. World War II actually somewhat... Yeah, actually, a lot of the modern tactics of the military were, at least for the British military, were probably developed in World War II. Or you've got the tactics from, like, Vietnam and Korea and things like that. So... I haven't got your tweet. It hasn't come up yet. Is it in my mentions? It's not in my mentions yet. It might come through in time. As far as how units conduct themselves in the field, yeah, fair enough. World War I tactics are just more effective when fighting orcs, you know, dig in and fire. You want forward thinking if 40k choose town. Exactly. Military tactics have not really evolved much. The only change is how we evolved jungle or guerrilla warfare thanks to Vietnam. Yeah, like things like Nam and Korea will have had an impact, and as well as Afghanistan and things like that will have had an effect, I'm sure. Cypher stance is a bit okay. Cypher stance is interesting. I personally think it'd be better if he was shooting. Because there's a picture in my Dark Angels lore where Cypher sort of like stood with one pistol like that and one pistol like that, and he looks like a badass. So I kind of prefer something like that. Modern tactics have the Guard winning because they'll be too effective. Well, modern military tactics won't always work against super angry Xenos. It varies, I suspect. I shouldn't do that. That's probably annoying. Like the guy who got annoyed with me whistling on the podcast last time out. Also, I'm honestly considering writing something about a Rubik 1000 Suns vehicle. The demonic tank drives through the warp, arguing with itself. You can. I mean, we answered the whole Rubik question on the podcast, so if you haven't watched it yet, then you can. We did answer what we think, but I don't think they're going to have any vehicles left at this point. Cypher is best. Very opinion on that. I don't think he's the best. He's cool. I do think he's a pretty badass. Because, like, double... gunslinger is kind of fun. And Abrams would murder a Lehman Russ tank. They probably lost the STC for it then. Oh, you did see it. Okay, good. Yeah, that you feel free. No, it wouldn't. Maybe. Krieg is closest to World War II tactics in the World War One was more siege based, sort of the back and forth no man's land trench networks. World War Two was a bit more fluid than that. Also, try Twitter. Who is Cypher? I debated that in my Dark Angels lore video, so if you want to check that, you can do that. I think I came to the conclusion that... What was his name? I've forgotten his name right now. Codex Chaos Space Marines. Why is it cheaper? Why would it be cheaper? Why wouldn't they change the artwork? Intriguing. Intriguing. If we get more information on that, thank you. Astalan. Astalan. Thank you. Thank you. Oh no, Astalan was not Cypher. Astalan was somebody else entirely who was also a traitor. Hello, Iron Reaver. You're new. Zahariel. Zahariel! Ah, that was it, Zahariel. I knew that. Sorry. Too much information. Astalan is one of the other fallen angels. He's pretty much the Dark Angel's equivalent to public enemy #1 for a while. Why do so many sci-fi franchises use World War 1 and 2 naval air and infantry? Probably because they were developed around that time. So a lot of stuff was probably developed before modern warfare really became a thing. So a lot of sci-fi franchises like Star Wars, Star Trek, 40k, all those sorts of things are too old for the modern tactics. So they're just stuck to it, I suppose. Well, who is the current sci-fi? We don't know. If it could be Zahariel, kept alive by chaos in a way, but it could be someone who succeeded. It is a title. It is just a title, the Lord Cypher, but we don't know who he is. The French is clogging my brain is clogged with all sorts of crap, and it's not the French. Even though if you run armor and mech heavy guard be a very fluid stuff, including using blitzkrieg. Yeah, mech guard is a thing. Mech guard is a thing, and mech guard is probably quite fun and probably very powerful this edition, I suspect. Yeah, 30 in the chat. That's lovely. Wait, more seriously, wasn't Cypher arrested? Yes, he was. He was arrested in M41 when Gilliman got to Terror because he wasn't allowed to go in the Golden Throne. The Custodians arrested him, but it's heavily implied that he's going to escape. So he's just out doing his own thing again, which is why he's in the game in 8th edition. So yeah, he's probably escaped. We haven't got confirmation of that, but he's Cypher. He doesn't get caught. See, because it's easy to identify him because developers don't know how modern tactics work. Partially, maybe. I mean, I'm not a military man at all, but I sort of understand the basics of World War 1 and 2 tactics because I've studied it. It's kind of hard to study modern military tactics because if they were too well documented, it gives the game away. He is more than a little hard to keep lots in place. Yes, he is. Person who's impersonating Malcaril the Sigilite. Train so Armageddon Steel Legion. Yeah, Met Guard is probably a bit more like Steel Legion. Who are the other tank heavy guys? I can't think of one right now. I doubt that all Cyphers could have kept the same insane powers and getting also Zahariel would be keeping himself alive by his psychic powers because he was a librarian. Was Zahariel a librarian? I'm going to hope this doesn't crash the stream. Hang on. Dark Angels Law. If you get some lag, I'm sorry. Dark Angels Law. There's no confirmation that oh yeah, Zahariel was a librarian. You're right. Sorry if I've crashed the stream, I'm sorry. Yeah. They don't translate too well. Ah, okay, that's interesting. And because producers think their viewers are stupid and wouldn't understand. I don't think it's dumbing it down for the audience. Sometimes it will be they won't understand or whatever. I don't know. It's hard to know. Yeah, there aren't exactly large scale battles anymore, so that's kind of what you have to draw on, I suppose. It's an interesting debate, maybe for another time, and very difficult to make work. Okay, fair enough. How's the stream? Yeah, it seems to be all right to me. Does it make it work and be fun? Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Like I say, I'm not an expert. I will, in a way, defer to your judgment on this one. Geonosis, where the clothes use human waves. Oh god, yeah, Star Wars Episode 2. I've only seen Star Wars Episode 2 like once. Better for an Inquisitor scale. Maybe like Shadow War or like small skirmishy stuff. Yeah, if you're on guard with lots of transport tanks, it could be approximated to get something mechanized. It's hard to know. I don't want to try and get into a debate about military doctrine because I'm useless at it. and I'll just be like either nodding or a lot. So it's probably best we change the topic of discussion if we can. So yeah, ooh, I should get a drink at some point. I'll keep going for a bit, and then I'll get a drink in a bit. What do you think of the Custodians coming back? Good. They shouldn't really have gone away in the first place. I mean, I understand wanting to guard the Emperor, but did it really need all of you? And I'm glad to see them back. I'm glad to see them back. I am quite happy to see the Custodians back, absolutely. And the Sisters of Silence, because I've been reading their lore from book 7, and it is really interesting, but I just want more, and we're only really going to get more if they're out in the galaxy doing stuff. Power of the Ouroboros of Caliban that Zahariel joined with probably kept on. Maybe. Maybe do a tactics lore video with a military YouTuber based for you. That's probably quite difficult. Because I mean, if you do know someone and that you think they can reach out, then by all means. But I'm not particularly looking for it. Honestly, do the Custodians have librarians and psychers? Not to our knowledge. They don't have librarians. That was a Space Marine thing. And as far as we're aware, no Custodian is psychic. Oh yeah, one of the Cyphers did join with the Ouroboros, you're right. That was Zahariel to kill the other one who were alive with the Watchers in the Dark. You are correct. And the Ouroboros combined with T'Chulcha and a third engine would have allowed for absolute dominance over like space-time and stuff, if I remember correctly. They failed and were paranoid. I don't know if the Custodians would have been paranoid. They did fail. Yeah, they did fail. I don't know if I call them paranoid. Is there going to be another character update, as in another summary of recent events? It's not top of my list to do, because that requires writing something that requires skill. And I honestly, I left the story off pretty much where I picked up the lore videos, so you can sort of track what my character's been doing the entire time, just travelling around and doing stuff. So maybe after I get to the end of Legions and we set something up, we're not sure. But hey, won't rule it out, but it's not on my list. What if the mechanic can find a fully intact STC? They'd be very, very happy. Will we see any progress fluff-wise on the Cabal? Probably not. With the Paramount leading the Imperial, we think Guard will get better equipment? No. Because it wasn't the bureaucracy was the problem, it was the money. It always was. Could work with the person. Okay, fair enough. It's up to. If they want to. I've got enough going on that I really don't want to go and like grabbing people and saying I need you for this because I can't commit to anything right now. After millennia standing around, at least the personal spirit of the Emperor finally able to see the constituent galaxy from the front rather than the outdated transmissions. That's true. Might do a little army of fallen. Go for it. Why else would they have stayed with Big E if they weren't paranoid? I mean, come on, 10,000. Now. Here you go. There were 10,000 Custodes, and then 9,000 of them died in the War of the Webway. War within the Webway. And it is theorised, based on what Book 7 said, it's theorised that the Emperor had a personal hand in creating the Custodes, and it was done via a level of biomancy. So maybe they can't make any more. Maybe that 1,000 that's left is all they had. It's interesting, and I think that's a really interesting idea. Of maybe we can't get any more Custodes. Could Bioshock work inside 40k? Everything could work inside 40k. I mean, Bioshock's got a steampunk aspect to it anyway. Sort of steampunky, so yeah, I could see it working. Although you might have to translate the plasmids to be actual like warp abilities. I don't know. In the latest rumor engine, a new Guard Lasgun or Las Carbine was shown. Okay. I don't. That'll probably just be like a new design for a new kit. I doubt it'll be actually better than a Lasgun because it's kind of you can't make the Lasgun any better anymore because the only way it's worse than a bolter now is it's lost a point of strength. That's it. If you give it up another point of strength, it turns into a bolter. What are your thoughts on the prospect of any large producer picking up any of the 30k, 40k lore for films and or TV series? Netflix and Amazon original films and series are taking on huge content already. It would be extremely ballsy. I don't think it's going to work unless they take the heresy. 40k, they'd have to do something completely original and stick to canon as close as they bloody well dare, because otherwise everyone will hate it. they're better off following the Heresy continuity, but even then that's risky as well. I think it's actually a bit of a risk for them to take on. It doesn't take 10,000 years to rebuild the Custodians, and also because they can produce more warriors, they wouldn't have decided the Heresy with decent numbers. That's the point. If they only had 1,000 left and can't rebuild, then maybe they didn't want to go out and potentially abandon their charge because they couldn't afford to. I don't know. Like Ryan is a road trader but adapts to the Star Empire because of its problems. A road trader carving out his own little domain? Sure. But then that would require seceding from the Imperium, and that gets the Imperium to your face. You worked out a way it could work? Okay. You can try. If the big guy can build psychic powers into his projects, maybe some major biologists can build plasmids. Yeah, you're right. HBO Gaunt's Ghosts. Yeah, actually another idea would be to follow up like on a particular character arc, like Gaunt or Kane or Macarius, I don't know, and follow somebody specifically. When will I get a Legion lore video? Imperial Fist Legion video. It's done. I've made it. It's coming out in 4 weeks, 3 weeks. So yeah, it's the last one in the Legion's miniseries, and we're on 16. We've just done number 16, so you don't have long to wait anymore. Any adaptation should be animated. Let's face it, a lot of 40k gear and beasts does not translate well into live action. Correct. If you ever did 40k, you'd have to keep it small scale to a point. Yeah. Need a fallen list. I'm not good at making lists for armies I don't know. Now fighting in the Companions are still an organisation, but these 300 are still with Biggie whilst having a crusading force of maybe 700. You do realise that how good the Custodes are. Like, the amount of Custodes you need to carry a battle is not many. Seriously, it's not many. A Dread style thing with the Arbiters. Ooh, that might work, but then you'd have people accusing you of ripping off just Dread. Maybe. Horus Heresy indeed would be a huge success if it was done correctly, but I need the best in the business to do it justice. Yeah, probably. I think maybe we're a bit too much up on our high horse about how good we think our lore is and how it needs to be treated, but you do need to handle it carefully because we do get very, 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 very whiny if it's not right. Lord Inquisitor style would work. Yeah, something completely standalone that follows canon would work. What would happen to the franchise if Disney bought it? Nothing, quite frankly, because Disney bought Star Wars and they've not really made it too kid-friendly. I mean, sure, it gets a bit violent at times, but it's still only a 12. 40k is a 12 game. It's a 12-plus game. So, it's fine, honestly. They'll just leave it alone. Let the writers do their thing, because these writers are bloody good. I mean, the game might get redesigned slightly if you get a different team of designers handling it, and someone up at the top maybe might change the marketing plan. But it shouldn't be too bad. No problem. Thank you. I'm glad you like the lore videos. I'm hoping to keep them going. Not a direct characters in following one or two arbiters that do a thing, such as dealing with a cult or something. Possible. Just people will accuse you even if it's not fair to do so. Overpriced 40k t-shirt. We already have overpriced t-shirts, they're just unofficial. Betrayal of Calth movie. Oh, Calth will be interesting, but Calth is so disjointed that it'd be kind of difficult to do. Weird idea of maybe adapting Battle for Rin's World to introduce Orcs and Marines. Rin's World would be interesting, although if you want to do Orcs and Marines, you could... Well, actually, no, Armageddon's too big of a project. Interesting idea. Where would be a good place to start learning 8th for a completely new player once you've got the rules? Any extra stuff or videos? Honestly, the best way to play the game is just to learn it. Learn the game is just to play it. You'll get things wrong, but just keep working through it. Look up guides if you really need to. I don't have a particular person in mind, but go and look up guides of how to play the game if you need it. But the best way to learn is to play. Any thoughts on lore videos for each of the Chaos Gods and the things they've done over history to get to now, like a timeline of the Chaos Gods? I've done the warp, and I talked about the Chaos Gods there in brief. It's kind of hard because it's kind of messy, so I don't know. What do you think GW's current painting style? I don't really look at it too much. It's just like, that's the way they want to paint, and I'll paint it my way. Up to you. Miniseries following Horus as he descends into Chaos. So, the first 3 Horus Heresy books, then. Guard series like Band of Brothers. Fine. Vrax, yeah, too big. Best Thought Clan, Evil Sons. Have I bought third-party miniatures? Not directly. I got given, as part of a swap deal, I sold my guard army and swapped it for a huge amount of orcs, and in there, there were a couple of, I think it was like 1 or 2 third-party miniatures, but I don't even think I've still got them. I know I sold away the main one. Can you see why kids love the taste of cinnamon toast? I don't get it. Opinions on Arch. He knows a lot about the lore. He complains a lot. And he does his thing. He does his thing, I do my thing. We all just exist. And we all just do our own stuff. Will I work with him? Don't know. That's up to him if he wants to reach out, but I don't know. I don't think that's going to be a thing. Same with the podcast. If he wants to come on, he can, but I doubt it's going to be a thing. So, yeah, not much of an opinion either way. Because, well, I've also got to have a level of diplomacy, because I'm sure a lot of people do quite like him and would much rather that I don't say anything rude, because then they'll get angry at me. And vice versa, if I go too nice, and people will disagree with me as well. So I'm going to be a little bit politically neutral, because it's the best way to be sometimes. Not 1,000 concerns would divide heresy. Very few would ever. The 1,000 figure wasn't even at the end of the war, or even the final battle where substantial casualties taken. Maybe. I don't know. The custodies are weird. We don't have enough information. We need more. That's a comment. Oh, yeah, actually, it was I got a Cromlech Grot. That's the model I remember. It was like a Cromlech Grot with a massive hat and a whip that I used as a proxy runt herd. But I don't have it anymore. Have I seen Fiora and Remy's series? Yeah, I've had a look at Men at Arms. I haven't studied it in depth, but I have seen it. Yeah. Opinions about if the Emperor had TTS. TTS is awesome. It's hilarious, and generally it's really informative, even if it does take like to mess with the overall plot a bit. It's really good. I really enjoy it. German or that's so. I'm just not going to respond to that. Words out the Tau colour scheme you want to use. Okay, go for it. Shoot. Let me know. Good afternoon or morning, whatever, or evening, whatever time it is where you are. I'm gonna guess Spanish or it'd be Spanish or South American, so it'll be morning or afternoon. Sorry, thinking out loud. I do that a lot. Where's the TTS story going from here? I don't know. I'm not involved. You know exactly as much as I know about TTS. Or as far as we can tell, Vulcan and Corex are going on a super happy crusade. Magnus is on his way back to Terra, and that's about it. Morning, or in my case, afternoon. Why don't the Tau use camouflage? They do, kinda, but at the same time, a lot of their camouflage is tech-based, so like their stealth suits aren't actually stealthy, they just have a stealth systems, so they appear invisible. That's how it works. Has Tau ever managed to integrate any Orc Mercs or Freebooters in lore? No. Tau are not stupid. Naive? Yes. Stupid? No. Horus Heresy Mark II Electric Boogaloo now is... Stop it. I don't think we're going to get that in the actual game for a while. I don't think we're going to have another mass turncoat. Although we do have Primarchs coming back. Tau Eldar. I don't see it very often. Based on the findings of the book Soul Hunter, do you believe it's possible Conrad faked his death? Possible? Yes. Likely? Not so much. As the first time, what would I be looking to spend on my first army? You can convert pounds to American. Well, it depends what army you're going for. If you want to play Dark Eldar, you can buy Guttings of Commorragh for like 35 quid, and then buy a Start Collecting. I think to get a basic army, you need 50 quid to get a Start Collecting box. That's the absolute bare minimum. After that, well, world's your oyster. To get started, 50 quid, or whatever the Start Collectings cost over there, and then from there, to build it up, it just depends on how high you want to go. Industrial is the best way to describe it. Flat says it's going to be orange with the engine parts and guns a bit more cast iron. I like that. That sounds good. It sounds a bit quite like the classic T''ow colour scheme. Do you feel the Fall of Magnus doesn't really fit? I can't help but think he should at least tried for redemption. Well, by that point, it was a case if he was too far. Maybe he was too far gone by the Battle of Prospero. We don't know. Hired a bunch of orcs to work on our Imperator Titan. This is going to work out great. What Primarch is coming back next? We believe Mortarion. It's almost certainly going to be Mortarion when the Death Guard get their Codex. Not next, not the one after that, the one after that. So, in 3 codices time. Aren't Eldar just the worst? No. Well, Eldar are annoying, Dark Eldar are creepy as sin, Slaanesh is creepy as sin, Chaos in general is kind of weird, I don't know. Honestly, don't know who the worst are, it depends on what you think. Would you accept the TTS voice actors as official actors? Yeah, I mean, seriously, most of them are actually really good voice actors, like Thunder, Zegram, and all the others are generally really good at voice acting. Yeah, it is Mortarion. I thought it was. It's just I wasn't. I know there's been rumor that like Angron might come back or Fulgrim might come back, but yeah, it's Mortarion next for sure. Meant loyalist out go. Oh right, Lion. Almost certainly Lion. If anyone, it'll be Lion. Do you think Horus will be magic back? No. He was dead. His soul was obliterated, and then his body was ruined, and the rest of them was destroyed, and the rest of them were also destroyed by Abaddon. So, he's gone. Horus is gone, my friend. Gone. Almost midnight. See ya. Ta-da. Then Lion. It could be Russ. I want to believe it's going to be Lion just because it's more logical for him to be back, but it could also be Russ. Yeah. Angron in the pipeline? Yeah, sure. I mean, with Angron being back on Armageddon, I can almost guarantee he'll be back in due course. I mean, he didn't actually get summoned, but he's trying. How does a galaxy-spanning empire have financial problems? Well, when you consider that the average Imperial Guard regiment is probably several million soldiers strong, and you have millions of worlds and millions of soldiers off every world, possibly billions. That's going to be trillions, quadrillions, or quintillions of arbitrary currency here to equip them. No, that's just people. That's the number of people, and you have to pay more than that to equip them. So, yeah, it's not. You also got to say it's got to go world by world. So, like, each world has to finance its own troops. So, some of the worlds just cannot physically do it. Think we'll get any other demon products after Mortarion? Yeah, we'll get Angron, we'll get Fulgrim, we'll get Pert. I think eventually. Russ spurts out the rift and kicks proverbial. As a Wolfen. What if it's the Khan? Ooh! Khan is a long shot. Khan is a long shot, but it's not impossible. I wish the GW wouldn't flip over Slaanesh so much. It's not. I think people do sort of meme Slaanesh at this point, but I think they do generally give Slaanesh a fair amount of respect. It's just not always done correctly. Could a faction based off of Rapture work like an objectivist empire? Oh yeah. Like, I'm sure there were empires like that in the Great Crusade. They just got smashed by the Imperium because, well, the Imperium. Put the legions and battleships back in their box and good. The Scars haven't getting attention. Kinda. Yeah, I mean, they were quite heavily involved in Armageddon with the return of Angron, but no, they weren't. Salamanders were. Duh. So yeah, it's possible. Or maybe Korax will just play. I think Korax and Khan are a long shot. Lion and Russ are your best bets. What makes this a light faction? Probably there'll be some feminist element to it, I'm sure. There will be the idea of like warrior nuns kicking ass, because that sounds just hilarious. The Exorcist is hilarious. It's an organ cannon. The Bolt of Flamer, Melter Triumvirate's kind of fun. The characters are quite interesting, like Uriah Jacobus and St. Celsi. They're well written usually, and all that sort of thing. So yeah, the Sisters have got many reasons to be liked, I think. And the Sisters of Silence, well, they're just badass. Like an entire army of psychic blanks. Just, yeah. Do I need to say any more than that? I don't think I do. And as to why Gilliman kind of locked up Cypher, we haven't heard anything about it. The Custodians locked up Cypher, to be probably more accurate. The reason we haven't heard from him is because he just escaped. Am I the only one who hopes if when TTS brings in Angron, he speaks with a calm and refined voice? I don't think that that's going to be the case. It would be hilarious to do. I'm just going to move that way a little bit, just because actually I'm going to move that way a little bit. It could be done with Angron, but I don't think it's going to be. Are they? That's just a conversation between two people. I probably shouldn't weigh in because I don't know the answer. Khan has a nice refined VA in his audio dramas. Yeah, that was the... Which audio dramas, though? Because was that the Heresy voice actor? When he was actually probably one of the sanest world eaters going? Or was this post-Heresy? I don't know if we'd go that far. I don't know if I would go that far. Because the Sister Battle has been around for ages. I don't know. Whatever. Excuse me. They don't use currencies, there are no jobs. Yeah, that's Krieg. Don't have too many experience with systems on tabletop because where I'm from, the meta is cheapskate power gaming. Also, the cost and rarity seems to be the only thing balancing SOB. They are very, very rare and expensive, that's true. But they're one of the higher tier armies. At least Alexa seems to be making them into an absolute floor wiper at the minute. Just to bear in mind. With so many psychers in the galaxy, could GW Shockers on bring back the enslaved and start to wipe the board? Not impossible, probably unlikely. I thought it was the same as... I didn't know. I've never listened to the audio dramas, so I couldn't tell you. Why does the Ecclesiarchy need a military force? Because sometimes you need to make the people repent and profess their love of the God Emperor at the end of a bolt rifle because they won't listen. That's how they deal with heretics in the 41st millennium. Just deal with it. I imagine Khan as Mr. Rage from Mystery Men. I've never seen Mystery Men, actually. Yeah, I know, I probably sound very, very weird for saying that, but I've never watched it, never heard of it even. What's that tune? Besides Prospero, does the Imperium have any other planets where the entire population are psychers? Probably, but it's not explicitly stated. And Prospero is kind of the exception, not the rule, because Prospero was completely forgotten. Because Prospero became a fully psychic planet before the Imperium turned up, and because Magnus was there, I think they were kind of just left to it. It's like, okay, we need the Thousand Suns to do what they're doing, leave them to it, we need a psychic population there. I don't think it's going to be quite the case anymore, where if you are a witch, you are being sacrificed to the Emperor, or you're being shot in the face. Or, in very rare cases, being inducted into the Astro Telepathica for becoming a Battle Psyker or an Astropath or something like that. So, probably not many, if any, and if they do, they're used very, very specifically for a very specific job. Does it ever explain why Cranon wasn't killed on sight when he kind of verbally smacked Abbott in the middle of his own war meeting? And have you heard... Oh, that's Crimson Slaughter Guide. The reason Abaddon didn't kill Cranon is because he was impressed. He was like, okay, you got guts, son. Welcome aboard. Watch your back, but welcome aboard. That was why Cranon didn't get killed. As for where he is, the Crimson Slaughter were just involved in the 13th Black Crusade, like going like behind enemy lines, I believe, like deep into the Imperium to attack like Underbelly or something. Where are the births of the Chaos Gods so lackluster compared to Slaanesh? Because we don't know anything about them to correct that answer. Because according to 40k canon, Khorne, Slaanesh, and Nurgle, no, Khorne, Tzeentch, and Nurgle already exist. They say Nurgle's maybe coincided with the Black Plague, so could be that. Other worlds overtaken by sorcerers were considered in their thrall and destroyed. Yeah, that would make sense. Prospero is in the Segmentum Solar, so how did it take so long to find it? Because the warp. Because the warp. I know army I picked my first one, the Lamenters. Oh, the Blood Angel successors. Go for it. You've got absolutely no Marines because you fought in the Bad War on the wrong side. Could the Blood Ravens redeem Magnus? That depends if they are actually successors, and that's not canon. That's just theory. It's heavily hinted theory, but it's not actually canon. But it would be a fun idea if you could do so. But Magnus is a demon now, so I don't think redemption is ever going to be a thing. Think GW can attack the Orcs in a similar vein to the Primaris Marines? I don't think so. Cranon dies. What? No, he doesn't. Cranon's brother, the Hellbrute, I think, died. Oh, with Termiel's vision. I haven't actually read Dark Vengeance. When I did my Crimson Slaughter lore video, which was a while ago, and I was using the Crimson Slaughter Codex at the time, I don't remember anything like that in there. GW just make it canon that Blood Ravens are 1,000 Suns, but that would mean we have loyalist successors to a traitor, which, whilst it's heavily theorised quite a lot, it's very rarely confirmed, so I don't think that they are going to do that. I'd like to see Forge World make Ultramar Guard Regiments or the Regiments of Terror. That would be interesting. The Ultramar Guard Regiments, you can do that in your own head, even if they don't do it as canon. Any thoughts that the new Chaos Resurgence GW is leading to an invasion of Terror 2.0? There was an invasion of Terror 2.0, actually. There were 8 Bloodthirsters sent to assail the Imperial Palace, and they got their asses kicked by the Custodians and Guilliman. How is my day going? My day is going fine. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon at my time, so it's the middle of the day. I haven't really done loads. I've done some recording this morning, etc. Not too bad. What are the Guardians of the Crag like? Not sure. Do you believe the Blood Ravens are kleptomaniacs? Not a terrible idea. They wear blue. Yes, the Ultramarine Guard Regiments almost certainly do wear blue. Gazgul vs Khan, depends on which kind you're talking about. Jagtai or Kossaro. Kossaro will lose. Jagtai, not so sure. It's canon that Macrack has Guard Regiments. Yeah, it is. It's canon. It's definitely canon. I know that they raised several regiments and some of the proudest regiments, actually. Apparently. We should have... What should have if Necron find old deactivated Men of Iron? If the Necrons find the Men of Iron, that would be interesting. That would be interesting. Not sure what it would mean, but that would be interesting, definitely. Similar to the Roman legions. Just with more las guns and less shields, probably. Why do I end up yawning when I'm streaming? Tactics and strategies, no idea. Any news on a possible Imperial split of the Guard and the Space Marines, or did the Guard just follow Gilliman's orders? As far as we're aware, Gilliman is the Lord Commander of the Imperium. You do what Gilliman says. Period. Rank the Chaos Gods from favourite to least favourite. Yes, Slanesh is last. Then I think it's Nurgle, Khorne, Tzeentch. In that order. Have I played with my Magnus yet? I haven't. I haven't had a chance to play 30k since I got him. I haven't played 30k in ages, to be honest. But he does look really, really powerful. He is apparently one of the best Primarchs in the game right now. Bring back Pariahs. Yes. A Tau finally going to die in a purge? No. No. GW's probably not going to try and kill them off anytime soon. Top 5 characters in descending order of plot armour. No idea. How do I explain having such a neutral accent despite my place of residence? Well, I live in Yorkshire, but I was born in sort of a slightly, what I would call a slightly posher area of Manchester. Or at least my family, my grandparents are very well spoken. And combine that with the fact that I just don't like text speak and prefer to just have everyone understand what the hell I'm saying, I do keep my accent quite neutral. I can lay it on a little bit, but I don't, because it would annoy me in about 5 minutes. What about Malal? Probably canon. Any idea when the next 30k rulebook is coming out? No, I believe it's been announced, because it's got like the Blood Angels in it, and the Schism of Mars, so it's been announced, but when, don't know. Terran Legions are probably the best equipped and trained Guard regiments because Holy Terror. Probably. And yes, I know, by the standards of people around here, my voice is slightly posh. Deal with it. But to be fair, at uni, most people don't have that much of an accent. Like, most people at uni are pretty flatly spoken. Just because it helps with communication. From Oxford, with the accent and everything, but living in the Cotswolds, absolutely neutered it. Yeah, I mean, I've lived in Yorkshire since I moved here when I was 3, so I've lived here for 18 years, 17, 18 years, so I'm used to living around here, and I've lived around here for ages, but I just never really picked up the accent. Where are you hoping to see the story go? Oh, what a question. I have absolutely no idea where I want the story to go. I quite like where the setting is now. Basically, before the story moves again, can we fill in the bloody gaps? So we've gone from the Terran Crusade to the Indomitus Crusade, and we've got a big gap in the middle where we know absolutely bugger all about anything but maybe a few things in the Imperium. So, quite frankly, can we fill in the flipping gap, please? That's what I want to do first. As to where the story's going to go, we'll see what context that the setting gives us at that time. What about relying on my Chaos God rankings? Don't really know enough, haven't really looked. Other than having an ethereal, is there any chance of Villainous Speech being able to use leverage against the Tau? The Tau do quite value the lives of their brethren, so you could probably have like a hostage situation, but without an ethereal it wouldn't carry enough weight. Why don't you like to talk text? I don't like to talk text speak, and I don't like to write in text speak because it just looks weird. Maybe I'm a little bit elitist with my grammar, but maybe so I do a language. It's just I just have to speak properly. I find it easier to speak properly. Excuse me. They had a civil war over the calendar. I know. I speak RP. Oh, that's the fancy that's something pronunciation. I learned that in English years ago. I don't know. I might do. So no one sounds like a chimney sweep at your university. Well, there's a couple of people from Yorkshire and from London who you could probably pick it up, but they're not in my friendship group, I should say. Late to the party, what do you think about the chaplain's new Pain Crozius? My theory is that Primaris Marines were messed by Fabius Bar clones during their development. That would be funny. Then we'll get the news about how the Emperor's still doing after he met with Gilman, or we continue to be a mystery. Well, Dark Imperium, I believe, fleshed it out a little bit as to how the Emperor's getting on and where his mind's at, but it's not. I haven't read it, so you'd know more than I. If you were forced into a guard regiment, what would it to be if you had the choice, and which one would you not, such as create? I don't know. One that was guarding a paradise world. There you go. Have I seen the 4chan alternate heresy stuff? No. We say speak properly, but we're chopping bits off the tongue like it knows imperial secrets for all linguistics. True. True. The English language has definitely been, you might say refined or cropped to make it a lot less liberal with its flow, because like English to French is just ridiculous. French has a lot more like grammatical emphasis on getting everything bang on, so it does have to flow a little better in some of those languages. Favourite 40k games? If you're talking video games, I've only really played two. Space Marine and Dawn of War Dark Crusade, and I enjoyed both of them. I played a bit of the Space Wolf card game, and that was okay. Are there any factions in the Imperium that believe Guilliman's resurrection is faked, like if Rain just possessed Guilliman's dead body with a demon or something? Probably. There'll be some people who, to be honest, that would have to know that Ivrain did it, and that will be a very nobody's supposed to know that. So nobody's supposed to know that Ivrain was evolved, I suspect. So, no, probably, simply because no one knows about Ivrain. The biggest used sword in history was a 7-foot monster used by a rather tall Dutchman. So it means use swords as big as them or bigger. That just sounds terrifying. Yeah, like Relic Blades, the Black Sword, the Sword of the High Marshals, they are rather large. Play the Deathwatch game as like a scaled down Space Hulk. Maybe. Well, it's not top of my list of things to do, but maybe. What if the Imperial Star Trek replicators? Then God help us all. Or them. Because infinite everything. Also would be really bad for them because Chaos could steal the technology and then trouble. Did you see Bolter to Kokoro 40k comics? No. Imperial worlds rebel every day. They'll pick his return as a lie as easily as any other reason to protest Imperial rule. True. True. That's very, very true. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've been going for an hour. Probably going to go for another 45, maybe 30, 45 minutes. But I'm just going to take a quick break, go and get a drink, and I will be right back. So, peace. I leave you alone for 5 minutes. Not even 5 minutes. 2.5. And what happens to my... I hate you, chat. I hate you. Favorite pizza toppings? Actually, I don't really know. I changed my pizza. I have all sorts of pizza. Like I had a garlic and king prawn and chili pizza the other night, and that was really nice. Friend of mine had a hockey version of Blood Bowl in 40k. Oh god. So yes, I'm back. Hello. I think the chat's just catching up. Yeah, the chat's just catching up. No, that's not true. You heard wrong. 40k football. Nope. What Space Marine will fake a kneecap? Ah, that's brilliant. Oh dear. When will me and Alexis stop arguing? When we agree, so never. To be honest, we were really good on the podcast last week because we try not to argue, or at least not have a rip-roaring argument. Like we try and have a good-natured debate about it. Sometimes it gets a little bit heated, but we try. Sorry if it annoys you that we argue too much. We're sorry, and we're trying to work on it. What's the Panacea STC? I'm not going to answer that. I'm not going to answer that. I just returned the stream at the top. What? Do my streams run ads? Oh, it just says... I probably shouldn't do this in the middle of a stream. No, really, shouldn't do this, Oh, I can have skip... Oh, I need to configure that sometime. Sorry, that might have just caused some serious lag. Sorry, if that caused some serious lag, I apologise. Me likes to improve. Thank you. We're working on it. We're working on it. No lag. Okay, good. It's just my CPU output just went to 90%. I was like, oh no, I might have just killed the stream. All good? Top. Looks okay. Good. Phew. The warp is calm. Yeah, yeah. If Iran was discovered by the Inquisition, would a civil war break out? Well, Iran has been discovered by the Inquisition because Greyfax. It's just, I think they realised that they kind of owe Iran one for saving Gilliman. They're just like, just leave and we'll never see you again. I think probably is what's happened is Greyfax is just like, go, just go, thank you, now go before they kill you. It was the STD from medicine that cures every disease. Oh! I didn't know that. The Panacea. I have thought of doing a GoFundMe to go... Right. I'm going to be doing this in the update that I put out, but we need to talk about Patreon and GoFundMe and Super Chat, because you'll notice there's no Super Chat running on this stream. There never is. But I want to talk about it for the simple reason of why there isn't. So if the chat just wants to kill its questions for a minute, because otherwise I'm going to get distracted. Basically, I have, at this moment in time, and I'll put this in a video separately, probably in another channel update alongside the whole France thing, I have no intention of starting up a Patreon, a GoFundMe, or anything like that for the channel at this moment in time. I have no intention of doing so, for the simple reason of, if I start asking or suggesting to people that they give me money for equipment or for extra content or whatever, I believe in my own head that I will feel as though I'm under more pressure to get more content out to try and live up to the money that people have given me for their money, for their time, and all of that stuff. I feel like I need to work harder for those people. And while I would love to do that, I sometimes feel as though I don't have the time, particularly this coming year, where I'm going to be in a completely different country, speaking a completely different language, studying completely different, slightly different courses. It's going to be a case of I just really am going to have to be grinding my ass off to keep the channel as it is. And if I start taking money off people, that's just not fair. I don't need the money because I've got enough money to live on and run the channel and all of that stuff. But I don't want to start taking money. I don't need it. No, I don't. I don't need it. So that's why I'm not doing it. People have asked me in the past about Patreon and things like that. I have no intention to do it because it puts me under pressure to put your money to good use when I don't need it because I can fund myself. I do need a new mic. I agree. I need a new mic. But it's not top of my list of things. It is on my list of things to do. A new headset, a new mic would be great, and stuff. So it's just a case of I don't need it, and I don't want to put myself under more pressure to accommodate for you guys giving me money that I don't deserve or need. So that's why there will be no Patreon. If in like the end of my degree, if I'm out of work or whatever, and I do genuinely think I need it, and I can commit to doing this full time for a couple of years, then by all means, I might add a Patreon. But it's not on my list to do. Oh, bonjour, ça va? Yeah, there are YouTubers that just sans ask for it and it's simply a donation box. Yes, there are as a donation, but I don't see it that way because I would treat it. I would treat it like a job at that point. My 1K sons are red armor and metallic gold rather than matte. Can we send you in for on gear? By all means, feel free to suggest ideas for gear, but I will buy it out of my own pocket. Start looking for new... Oh, the main reason is I don't actually own a mic. This is my mic. Nope. It's my mic from my headset, so it's something I could do with upgrading at some point. I just messed up the entire stream sound quality. If you were to put Malal on the tabletop, what would you give his mark? Malice is all about causing chaos, so I'd maybe make it slightly random. Or something about stealth and subtlety, because they're like trying to... Or something like that, I don't know. Did I miss something? Can a Gene Stealer cult go rogue from a hive fleet? If the hive fleet dies, yeah. I don't know about go rogue. Chaos has enough randomness. True, that's more a Zinch's thing. But Malice is the chaos god of chaos, like, and stuff. Animosity. Oh, animosity could be fun. Animosity could be fun, but that would be crippling on like elite squads. So I don't know. Malal's thing was soul stealing, which is now the Inari's thing. A Dishonored style 40k game where you play as an assassin or a magic. Oh, that sounds fun. Oh, that sounds fun. That would be fun. You probably maybe not Dishonored because that's you could do it. But the thing is, like the Kalidas can shapeshift. The Kilexus is horrifying to be around. The Aversa is a monster, and the Vindicator is a sniper. So you might have to change it slightly. Malal's Malal's not he's not the anti-chaos guy. He's the anti-everything guy. Oh, a two-way animosity. Oh, that sounds funky. But then again, that's messing with your opponent's thing, and I don't know if that's always the thing. How come Kaz is an 8-pointed star but only 4 gods? I don't know. I don't know why it's the 8-pointed star, actually. Because, like, the devil's number was always 6. It's not a satanic reference, or 5 for the pentagram, so it's not there. And there were more than 4 gods. Whether it was exactly 8, we don't know, and they've all been, like, subsumed into the other gods. Not sure. Almost every game genre will work in 40k done right, yeah. Should there be a remake of Final Liberation? I never played Final Liberation, but sure. What kind of unique abilities would you give Chaos Tau? Well, Chaos is a lot more about individual championhood, whereas the Tau Vat is all about brotherhood and unity and strength through unity and all of that. So I don't know. I think Chaos Tau would be a really interesting idea. What would I do? I'd take supporting fire off of them for sure, but maybe Maybe give them supporting charge, because they're so hungry for glory. Maybe. By unity you mean communism. Sort of. It's sort of is communism, but it's not 100% like communism, I don't think. Chaos Tower Hive Mind. No. No, 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 not a thing. Objectivism. It might be objectivism. I'm not sure. But then again, the Tau do believe in the greater good, whatever the greater good so happens to be, so it's kind of not very objective. I think Tzeentch would claim the Tau. Well, Khorne almost certainly wouldn't. Slaanesh, probably not. Nurgle and Tzeentch are probably the best two for it. Star mission, get your information like your target is here, and then you pick... Oh, right, okay, that's interesting. So yeah, you have a squad, and then you pick a squad member for each specific task. Could be. They already have a hive mind. No, they don't. They are still individuals. I mean, how else do you think Farsight went rogue? Would it be funny if the greater good became an actual chaos god? It would be funny. It would be ridiculous and stupid, but it would be funny. Have I played Borderlands? No. Nurgle Crew would be pretty mean. Yeah. Ethereals? The Ethereals are not a hive mind. The Ethereals, there is an implication of subliminal messaging and control and stuff, but it's not a hive mind where all individuals think as one as part of a consensus. That's not the way the Tauva operates. It's more autocratic than that. The Imperials have absolute control and stuff, but the individual Tau are still that. They are still individuals. So they're not a hive mind. They might be collectivist rather than communist. Yeah, I'm not an expert on the different social structures, etc. That's been retracted, okay. If each Chaos God takes over each cast, so Khorne takes Fire Warrior, Tzeentch takes... There's 5 casts. 5 casts, you would have to put Malice into that equation. Kind of like an oligarchy. Kinda. Kinda. But I think the other Ethereals have a bit more of a say with the Ethereal Supreme. I don't know quite how much of a say the other Ethereals have over the with the Ethereal Supreme. It's not really stated. The Ethereals are killed off, done. No, if the Ethereals are all killed off, well, you get a Farsight Enclave situation. That's exactly what happened. And no one cares about this. I care about the Earth cast. My character's from the Earth cast. Shove off. My character's from the Earth cast. Just because he fires a battle suit that he retrofitted himself because he's a badass. But yeah, my character's Earth cast, so I like the Earth cast. And they would go to Nurgle almost certainly, yes. For Chaos. Oh, the Ethereals are killed off for Chaos. Oh, yeah, you could kill off the Ethereals for Chaos Tau, and then it would work much more easily, yes. Malice takes the Aircast. I feel like Slaanesh would want the Aircast, and I don't really know why. Or maybe Tzeentch. Actually, no. Tzeentch would want the Watercast. I don't know. Interesting. If Magnus' soul got sharded in the Burning Prospero, it did. Is it possible for that shard to be independent? Good Magnus still out there? Yes. There was a shard bound to Revulavida. A lot of them were gathered up by Armin, but there may still be one out there. And, yeah, I should be thanking you, but I don't care. If you were guaranteed to not be killed, what would you want to do before you get... Well, I'm doing it. I'm going around chronicling the history of the universe, because that's really fun. And really, really intriguing, and sharing that story with the populace. Either that or doing science, or the other. Did I need that? Water, Tzeentch, Earth, Nurgle, Fire, Khorne, Air, Slaanesh. Yeah, that's probably how I'd do it. Water, Tzeentch, Earth, Nurgle, Fire, Khorne, Air, Slaanesh. How you do it, and like how you configure it perfectly, not sure, but that's how I would do it. Oh, excuse him, what? Ethereals can all deathmatch out in the Thunderdome for Malal. Deary dear. You're all crazy. I imagine science is like you would want to learn science with the Earth catalyst. Well, it'd either be science or it would be history. One of the two. Because I love 40k's lore, and to go around chronicling it and passing it on to the universe and to the wider populace so people could learn about their history would be sick. But either that or doing some really advanced science and studying all the wonders of the warp and the galaxy would be pretty awesome as well. So I'd go either or, really. Or just psychic badass. Or all three. Is there any way a Dark Elder Arsenic cult could exist? It did. In the Soul Drinkers books, that actually happened. History more of Watercast thing. The Watercast are politicians, they're not historians. To be exact. Don't know what that means. You could in fact make an argument for every single cast belonging to almost every god. The Firecast gods are due to seeking perfection in combat. Yeah, you could argue that. I mean, water's kind of hard to see going to corn, mind you. Or the aircast for Zinch as they gather information. Yeah, that would work. But yeah, water and corn is the hard one. Polish Winged Hussars Space Marines. No idea what that means, I'm afraid. I'm not a super military history buff. I know loosely about history, but I'm not a proper buff on certain things. And the medieval period is definitely one of my lesser known areas. Is Matt Ward working Age of Sigmar? That's news to me. Fair enough. Yeah, we've kept a decent chat that going there. I'm surprised that we've had 30 odd people for such an awkward time. Almost as Nurgle and Firecast don't work well. Yeah, water and corn, Nurgle and fire, earth and Zinch maybe would struggle to work. Yeah, and air and Nurgle, not perfect. Although spreading plagues via the air would kind of work. Not sure. But yeah, there's certain ones that don't work particularly well. What Space Marines are stuck on the other side of the Warp Rift? The Blood Angels are... actually, just give me a second. Let me get my 8th ed rulebook, and I will have a look at what worlds are the wrong side of the Sacred Maledict. Where's the map? Where is the map? You know, the one thing that I wish this had was a bloody contents page. I would love this to have a flipping contents page. Oh, it does have a map. Dark Imperiums, that'll be 50 then. What am I talking about? There is a contents page in here. I'm stupid. Here we go. Okay. There's the map. So, we have... I'm trying to look for Space Marine worlds here that I recognise. Attila, that's a guard world. Baal is the main one. Valhalla's the wrong side. Mordian's the wrong side and is under siege from Magnus, I believe. Golgotha's kind of stuck in the middle of it, or quite close to it. Fenris is pretty damn close, but on the right side just. Same with Ultramar and the Tau. Most of them are all right. There's a few on the wrong side, but it could be worse. A live Adeptus podcast is like this with all three of you sometimes. Won't rule it in, won't rule it out. Could Space Marines work as a mechanised force based off German blitzkrieg with lots of tanks and APCs? Yes, but they prefer drop pods. Space hulls contain pre-collapsed tech? Yes, they do. Sometimes. Is it okay to yell "war" in public spaces? Probably not. Carter Scaris vs Cyphers came in a battle of bigger plot armor. I haven't read the Cyphers Came books, but I suspect for having survived that many books as a guardsman, he's probably quite high on that list. Could the Earth cast vault disease because of an increasing drive of innovation seeking never-ending improvement of existing tech? Yes, but at the same time, they are quite regimented in their construction. So the entire, like, ethos of the Earthcast would have to fall apart. With the new creation of the 40k universe, any thoughts on the wild theory that one of the loyal first founding chapters falling to chaos and one of the traitors being redeemed? It will never happen. It will never happen. We'll not see a redemption arc, I don't think. I just don't. Sorry. I'd love to see the Thousand Suns come back, but we won't see it. Did Tau use Imperial tech? Not directly, but they learned about the warp through studying destroyed Imperial ships in the Damocles Gulf Crusade, so they don't maybe use it directly, but they will study it, retrofit it, and modify it, I think. Could modern Earth militaries work as Imperial Guard regiments? In a way, yes. We had a huge discussion earlier about like modern warfare, so kind of don't want to go there. Could a similar thing happen to the Black Orcs happen to the Squigs to make Rebel Squigs? I don't know the fantasy lore well enough to know the answer to that. Have there been any instances of orcs and other races working together for any length of time? Yes. Blood Axes will hire themselves out as mercenaries. You have freebooters. Apparently the orcs and the Imperium came together on Armageddon to stop the World Eaters very briefly. So, yes, but rarely and not for long. Are you going to meet up with Alexa when she comes over to Britain? That's the plan. We've got to time everything, right? Because I'm out of here very early in September. And I've got my 21st birthday coming up as well. So I've got that little period. The end of August is pretty damn busy. So if I can see Alexis, I will. But I can't guarantee it. So yeah, it's in the plan, but are there Samurai Space Marines? The Black Templars and stuff are quite close, like they're swordsmen, but as proper samurai, no. Alpha Legion maybe doing they're not corrupt in the same way. They weren't, I don't know if they still aren't. Organic transport is a giant Nurgle fly that spews Death Guard or a huge corn drug that being killed erupts into Marines. Interesting idea. White Scar's a wide-scale agent. Yeah, I think the like base inspiration is the Mongol hordes for the White Scars as a most basic inspiration. I'm sorry if I made you feel old. Black dragons are close with their bone blades. Yeah, in a way. Trade allegiance from favourite to least favourite. Oh god. Oh god. I don't want to do that now because I'm live on stream and I'll forget something, but I might have to do that. And just write that down, and I might tweet it out at some time for people who care. White Scars have a few Japanese names from the Civil War. Okay. Crimson Fist are Hispanic. Yes. Why does everyone in 40k melee so much in the era exterminators or bombardments and titans? Why do people still beat each other with hammers? Because sometimes you need to secure a territory without destroying it. And that means getting up close and personal without just breaking the whole structure about it. Like, if you need to secure a temple and that is sacred to you, you kind of have to take it without blowing it up, or for want of a better word. So you can't just use auto bombardments and exterminators and stuff, because you want to take that land back. It's kind of like the idea of like why nobody wins a nuclear war, because you can't claim the territory that you just nuked. It's useless to you, and they don't want to lose that territory. They want it back. So that's why we have close range and ground combat and hand-to-hand combat. Who else would love a Black Dragon's kit for modifying other units? It would be cool, but yeah. Orcs don't die when you shoot them with most personal weapons, neither do Astartes. Not always to a single bullet, but enough of them will put them down. How do you think Space Marines die to guardsmen? It happens. It's common to face millions and you run out of ammo about halfway through. Or that. Armor's advanced so far, the best and safest option is to get up close and use devastating weapons and skill. And that too. Yeah, there's a load of reasons for why melee exists. Loads of reasons. Why are Tau and other races not making Space Marine equivalent infantry? Because the Tau don't fight like that, for a start. Just to use them as an example. And genetic modification wouldn't make them like Space Marines, because they're not like... Because they can't actually transport the idea one-to-one, because their genetics are so vastly different. I don't think genetics is the route the Tau go down. They go down technology. So, doing it that way, their armor's as good, like power armor is as good as battlesuit armor, if not, battlesuit armor is better. But genetic modification is just something you can't always do, and maybe don't want to do. Russian Cossack Marines. No, we don't have Space Marine Cavalry. I mean, you've got Rough Riders in the Guard if you want to do something like that, but up to you. Okay, what is it? 25-2. Okay. Yeah, we'll go for probably about 10 or 15 minutes, and then we'll call it. Because it's been good. I'm glad that the streaming software is working. I just wanted to do a little test stream, just to make sure that my software was working again back at home. And then if I get the guys over, if Kieran comes over or whatever, we can have a proper stream. Do any chapters recruit from Valhalla? No, I think Guard some worlds might be exempt from Astartes recruitment, or generally the Astartes will pick a world or a system as their own, and Valhalla is not one of them. Has any other species tried to incorporate human genetics into their own, or was humans the only species to try this to evolve? Not to my knowledge. Squats vs. Jericho in an arms race, who wins? I don't know. Any personal headcanons? My headcanon is that the Blood Raven's 1,000 Sun successors. That's my headcanon. I don't particularly have much by way of headcanon because I try and follow actual canon, but I do like to theorize. Basically, look at the answers to all of my theories, and so like the whole Farsight thing, the Angron thing, the Nikea thing I put out on Monday, and you can consider those as my headcanon, I suppose, because that's the conclusion I've come to. So that's kind of headcanon, I suppose. Quietude versus Interact, who is the better post-human empire? The Elamic Quietude, I bet that we barely know anything about either of those empires, really. But you could probably have a look. And there's the Diaspora X as well, who had the whole, like, human Tau thing going on, where they actually had an empire with the Xenos in it. Honestly, like, all of those empires were pretty good. The Quietude were much more mechanical, so I personally prefer the Interacts. Any more battle reports, man? Yeah, I've got 3 more made. 2 of them need to wait until I've made a third for that as a little mini-series. I like the ones I was doing about small increase of picture quality. Well, I have just... again, my tech is terrible. I've just upgraded my phone, so I've got a better camera on that now. So hopefully the camera quality will go up a little bit, but then again, shaky cam. So it's... There are more battle reports planned, yes. As for trying to step up the quality, I'll do what I can. Space Marines from Catachan? No, they don't. They probably could, but the Catachan regiments probably take all the ones that are there first, and these guys just leave them to it, I suppose. Okay. Yeah, we'll go for 10 more minutes. We'll go to 1 hour 40 on the stream, and then we'll call that a night. Or we'll call it a day. Is Lion's snooze button broken on the alarm clock? Probably. Tower Line Space Marines, would they be Elite Force or would they just be experimented on? Tower Line Space Marines will never be a thing. Tower Line Guardsmen is one thing. Tower Line Space Marines is something else entirely. And they'd probably be both. They'd probably be studied extensively and then sent out into the battlefield as well as an Elite Force. It'd be both. Yeah. There are a lot of questions about the Tau. Like, there's so many unanswered questions about like Tau society and how things would work with them, and I just want more answers. Hopefully the 8th edition Codex gives us that, but I'm not holding out a huge amount of hope. Dear me, chat. I'm surprised you managed to keep a decent chat going, which is nice. I do a number of people in, and people have been active, which is nice. I don't think all 34 people have been active, but I think 33, because one of those might be me. But yeah, works for me. The Primarchs and all Space Marines are male. How often am I confused with Remlays? Never. I've never been confused with Remlays. I've had people say I'm a copycat of Remlays a couple of times, but never been confused with them. Will Gilliman be more friendly with the town now? No idea. We don't even know if he's come across them yet. He will have heard about them. I don't know if he's actually fought against them or alongside them or whatever. So I suspect it will be the same policy as always. I suspect. Because otherwise that brings the town onto the Imperial side, and that changes the state of the universe, and that's not going to happen. Ever consider setting up a Discord? No, not really. It's not top of my list of things to do. I mean, Alexa's Discord is there if I need it, and I'm in a Discord group with a few of my friends. That's how we recorded our 8th edition review. But setting up a proper Discord, I just wouldn't be active enough in it. It'd be a waste of time for me. If the Orcs believed they were invulnerable gods of war, wouldn't they become the most powerful force in the galaxy by just sheer strength of belief? The Orcs believe they will never lose, and that they are stronger than like green is best, might makes right, and all that stuff, and they still lose. So, no. Is it possible to have another cast that they're hiding it rather at the top of the system, or maybe a slave one? Do they have law problems? We don't know. We don't know a thing about Taz Society, and I want to know. I want to know. So, basically, 8th edition Tau Codex, GW, you listen to me right now, James Workshop. Give me more Tau context. Give me societal law. I want to know what their systems are like in normal life, not in war, not what they do for the military. I want to know about citizen life. I want to know about what a Tau world is like to operate on. Maybe what it's like when it's run by the water caste, by the earth caste, by the fire caste, by the air caste. I just want to know all of these things. Rant over. Why does the Grey Knight's Master's Oath contain a reference to the Terminus degree? Do they know what it is? Yes, almost certainly they do. Maybe it's a bit like the Dark Angels, where like the top ranking people know what the Terminus degree is. Maybe the Supreme Grandmaster knows, I don't know. If you paint an Orc pink, will it be slightly faster than other Orcs? Red ones go faster. I don't know if... Well, red vehicles and red bullets go faster. I don't know if red Orcs go faster. Fire Warrior got into 40k? Oh, cool. I'm glad it got someone into it, because apparently it wasn't very good, from what I heard. I believe war energy is unconscious thought and instinctual feeling, not a case of big talk. For example, giving Yarrick alive they fear him, but don't actively speak it or yell it out. Yeah, kinda. It is more of a subconscious, like the war energy. The Orcs don't always feel it themselves, but they're sort of attuned to it, and the Weird Boys are really attuned to it, which is why they can channel it. Yeah, some people enjoyed it. It's good. It's just, I think it's popular belief that it's bad. I've never played it myself. Is it assumed belief, or is them believing they're the best is yelled at and made a clear thing? Maybe. Did you play Dawn of War? Did I okay Dawn of War? I think that's supposed to be did I play. I didn't play Dawn of War 3. No, I haven't. I haven't really played many PC games at all. Well, the new rules, Black Templar's commit psychic power fail by just sheer willpower. Yes. That willpower is how you denied psychic powers without psychics in the last edition, so yeah, same thing. Could War and the Imperial Faith be the same power source? Power source, no. Same idea, yes. You do see Magnus in the background, yes. And you'll see a full video on him on Monday. Tune in for that. Maybe put that little bell thing on. I don't plug, you don't have to, but if you like. Alright, 5 more minutes. Last chance to get any questions or ideas in before we wrap it up. Do I prefer Heresy Magnus or 40k Magnus? 30k every flipping time. 30k Magnus is so much cooler because, well, I love 30k Magnus' backstory. Between 40k, 30k, 40k, not so sure. Can other races use war energy? Like, yes, something crazy need to happen, but the NIDS or crew... Well, the Sisters of Silence can disrupt it, we believe, so yes. Not use it, but disrupt it. Well, Grimalda's literally yelled at a Titan Princeps to stop being dead, and then she stopped being dead. So it's not unheard of. I can't remember exactly how that goes, but I might double check Hell's Reach for that. Would Magnus move faster in the presence of Orcs? Not to our knowledge. The whole Red Ones Go Fast thing is weird. My 1000 Suns vs Lexus would be a fun battle if you like seeing me get dunked on. Also, I'd be playing 30k, so it wouldn't really be right. Weakest colour for the Orcs? No idea. Favourite writer? Oh. I don't know, actually. I don't really know. I don't really buy by author. I just buy what looks interesting, and then if the authors are good, then they're good. Why do Chaos Marines have Mark 6 sleds? How is it they have such a grand... Probably they just cannibalised what they could get their hands on and nicked it. Idea for a video series, a breakdown as best as possible of the various languages of the main races. Very, 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 very difficult. Because the Orcish language is weird, and like, there's the glyphs, and the Tau language is completely different as well. I don't think it would work. As she passes out from the narrative, is presumed dead. Grimalda's calls on her promise to protect Helge when she comes back into consciousness. Okay, right, okay. And then tries to crush Godbreaker's heart with Stormherald's arms. Ah, is that how it goes? I couldn't quite remember. 30 Commanders all the way. The books make them my favourite Legion, but still think they have loyalty in this. I'd like to think they do, but not anymore, sadly. I think with Demon Magnus and the Rubric, I don't think they're ever going to come back, which is a shame. Which is a shame. Alright, 3 more minutes. No, don't music. Don't music. Cultist Chan versus the Alexis Demon. I don't know. I'm not an expert. Honestly, don't. Just no. No idea. Don't yawn. Why do I always end up yawning on stream? I have no idea why I end up yawning on stream. I'm not even tired. I just end up yawning for no damn good reason. It's annoying. Who's the next Primarch coming back? Well, Tarian. Loyalist will either be Lion or Russ. How far do you think you can kick a Noblar? Depends on how good of a run-up you get and stuff. Which Legion has the spider legs? That was Sarpedon of the Soul Drinkers, which is an Imperial Fist successor from way, 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 way later. Who would win, Saboteur or Shadow? Sevatar? Is that? Try again. I don't know who you mean. Do we boy? No, not at all. I find this really interesting. I just end up yawning for no damn good reason. It happens all the time on streams. Maybe because I'm just talking so much, I just feel tired when I shouldn't do. Who knows? I don't know. I don't. But certainly no, the chat is not boring. The chat puts too many memes and annoys me sometimes, but you do not bore me, that is for sure. Anything else in the last couple of minutes before I start the outro? This is your last chance, chat. Am I any good at darts? Not really. No, I'm not. Favourite period of history, real life history? Probably Roman or Greek. Lost chapter turning part of the Primarch project, any idea which? No idea. Do you think Gorkamore could use the Warp Crack to manifest? No. Shadow in the Warp is the Hive Mind? Yep. No, I believe the Shadow was caused by the tuning, so yes. Maybe the time difference in the Civil War was the Order Chronos. Maybe. Right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be a lot. It's been a bit of an impromptu stream. It's been good to see a few people come out, and it's good for me because I know that my streaming software will now work at home and hopefully won't screw me over. So, has the Emperor become a real god? Maybe. Probably. So, that will be all for today. I do hope you have enjoyed the stream. I've really enjoyed it. It's been a pleasure to talk to you all. And I will try and stream 1 or 2 more times before I go to France, and then I'll try and stream while I'm out in France, depends on what my Wi-Fi is like, and all of that good stuff. So, in the meantime, you can look forward to another episode of 40k Stories tomorrow. I'm not going to spoil what it is, but some of you might have worked it out. And, yes, I hope you enjoy everything we've got coming up, and the Magnus model showcase is on Monday. So, thank you all for watching. My name is Michael for Tactica Imperialis. Until the next time, I'll see you all again. Bye for now.